to conduct march in the state. The bench of the Supreme Court rejected the DMK government's appeal against February 10 order of the Madras High Court Division Bench. The High Court had ruled that it is within the fundamental right of an organization to conduct such processions at public places as they are well within their constitutional rights. The Apex Court also rejected the state government's move to refuse permission, citing the threat of attacks from certain banned terror outfits in the country. Arguing on behalf of the organization, senior lawyer and BJP MP Mahesh Jethmalani said that fundamental rights cannot be regimented like this, adding that earlier such events had passed off peacefully. Mr. Jethmalani also argued that if the DMK government is not able to fulfill its responsibility, they must buck up and they must ensure that the procession is provided proper protection. But this poses a bigger question. Was the DMK government's stand driven by law and order concerns, or was it a purely political one? Why is the DMK wary of an RSS flexing its muscle in the state of Tamil Nadu? Is the government afraid of the saffron inroads in the state, and more importantly, the kind of inroads that the BJP has been trying to make? That's our story that we focus upon.
No, that is the matter, but the Supreme Court had ordered, so the government will look into it and take necessary steps in that regard, because it is for the government to decide on this. So let us wait and what the government takes. We will wait.
So the Tamil Nadu government was actually, completely unjustified in. It seemed to be a political decision not to allow the ban. In this case, the reasons given were absurd.
It's a slap on the DMK government, the face of the DMK government, and it is shame that this government should feel shameful, and also it should regret and apologize before the people of Tamil Nadu.
Well, does DMK fear the saffron inroads? We'll ask that question to DMK as well. We are expecting Mr. Dharani Dharan from the DMK to join us in a bit. Narayan Tirupati, the Vice President of the BJP in the state of Tamil Nadu, is joining us on the broadcast. Good evening, Mr. Narayan Tirupati. Thank you so much for joining us. An order which is a setback for the state government. There were law and order concerns that the present state government that they had cited before the Supreme Court, but the Apex Court was not convinced. They said, if a particular organization wants to take out a procession or a march, it is incumbent upon the elected state government to provide security.
Yes, the government, says that there are people they have identified who will be attacking the RSS route march, and they know that these terrorist organizations, particularly the PFI, after the PFI which was banned, they will be attacking the RSS route march if it is held. So instead of arresting or taking action against them, the government says that we will ban the RSS route march. This is really funny, and also that it says that the law and order situation is very bad, and the government is not able to control the activities of the antisocial elements or the fundamentalist movements. So that is the main reason the Supreme Court has dismissed, and it has upheld the order of the Honorable Madras High Court. That is what the Madras High Court, Honorable Madras High Court had said, that it is your duty to maintain the law and order, where it is your duty to protect the people's right and the fundamental right of any organization, any individual. And the government seems to say something, differently because of the ideological differences. They are afraid of the.
Let's ask all these questions. Ask all these questions to Mr. Salim Dharani Dharan as well. He's joining us on the broadcast. Sir, thank you so much for speaking with us. Help us understand fundamental rights, right to peaceful protests. I'm sure they're not a one-way street, and no political body, organization or an ideology has the sole right to these organizations. If RSS wants to conduct a march, they should be allowed to do so. The argument is, and the Supreme Court seems to agree, that all the objections that were raised by the state government were not good enough for this march to be stopped if there is a particular organization which is posing threat to peace and security, and I'm talking about certain banned terror outfits, then the state government must do its job instead of stopping the RSS from taking out a procession.
See, the Supreme Court has given a nod for the RSS rally. I haven't gone through the contents of the Supreme Court verdict. They have their reasons, but we have our reasons too. See, you'll have to understand that there is no politics in this. There is no ADMK or DMK in this. It is the will of the people of Tamil Nadu. Since 1960s, all the parties ruling Tamil Nadu has not given permission for RSS rally. Be it Jayalalitha, be it late MGR, when they were ruling the state, they haven't given permission, citing that it can lead to law and order crisis. It is the job of the state government.
Mr. Tirupati, I'll come to you. You rebut him, but let him finish his argument. Yes, Mr. Dharani.
Tamil Nadu is India's most harmonious states with least number of religious violence, communal violence. So it's a job of the state government to maintain law and order. And there has been intelligence reports. In fact, when the police did not allow for RSS rally to happen, it was based on the police intelligence report, which said there were possibilities for religious harmony being disrupted and for some possibilities for social unrest. In fact, the police asked for RSS to provide the list of members who are going to participate in the rally and give their membership card. But RSS does not have a membership card. So what happens if a third person comes and creates communal violence? And again, when you spoke about freedom of expression, see, freedom of expression ends when you punch in the air and someone's nose up.
Mr. Dharani, a few points that I want you to answer. Has what the earlier governments done in the state of Tamil Nadu an example for your government? Isn't your government with a difference that allows all point of view, driven by a development agenda, not driven by any kind of political ideologies? And if this entire issue was about the law and order situation in the state, then why is the judiciary not on your side? The Madras High Court division bench, the Supreme Court bench, none of them seem to agree with your reasons. Then hence I think as a logical person I can say that they were not plausible reasons enough.
Not exactly. Then why did the other parties also not allowed? DMK is also not allowed. The ADMK is also not allowed. The other parties in Tamil Nadu is not allowed. So you have to look at the I said earlier. When does freedom of expression end? Freedom of expression ends when you punch in the air and someone's nose appears. You'll have to look at the precedent. Whenever RSS has gone on a march, that has resulted in violence. Let's talk about the Ram Navami march that happened in West Bengal and 6 other states. That resulted in violence. West Bengal government had a committee which was headed by a retired judge, and he said it was pre-planned violence. How did the pre-planned violence happen? Because they were going and protesting in front of madrasas, going and protesting in front of mosques and so on and so forth, in order to only disrupt the harmony. Go and look at the president. Even during Babri Masjid,
Mr. Dharani, one last point that I want to raise with you, and then I'll go to Mr. Narayan Tirupati. Law and order, religious harmony is not a one-way street. If a particular religious community or a particular group or an organization wants to hold a procession in a peaceful and a legal manner, and somebody else chooses to get offended by it, then it's the responsibility of the state government to ensure that offense remains under their own limits. They have a right to be offended, but that doesn't mean that you can take law and order into their own hands. I don't want to go to what has happened in the state of Bengal. That matter is being looked at by the High Court as well. But in the state of Tamil Nadu, the law and order concerns were exaggerated to stop a procession which does not align with your ideology. That's what BJP is arguing, sir.
Which is not true, because on the same October 2nd, our rally, VCK also requested for a march, and even permission for them was denied. As simple as that. And again, see, it's not about DMK versus the RSS. It's about the police. The police intelligence has said that it can result in communal violence. As simple as that. And again, RSS, I think, has no supremacy over the Hindu theocracy. I think DMK has done much more to temples in Tamil Nadu than even the BJP government in Uttar Pradesh. The DMK, for example, was the first party in India to give pension for the priests way back in 1996.
Okay,
in fact,
okay. Mr. Narayan Tirupati, none of the governments earlier in the state of Tamil Nadu have allowed a procession by the RSS, and what the DMK government did was nothing new. There are political precedents for it.
No, that itself is false. In fact, I have participated in many RSS route marches in Chennai city itself. So whatever Mr. Dharanidharan says is wrong. And it was only recent years that it was not allowed. I have participated on my own. So you have to understand that whatever the DMK says is false. Number one. Number two is that he was telling Sir, I was waiting for you. When I interrupted, she asked me to wait, so I waited. And number two is that he says that the DMK has done lot for temples. The DMK or any government is illegally occupying the temples. The HRNC is illegally occupying the temples. That is what we are saying. The HRNC, the Hindu Religious Board, is nothing but a supervisory body to manage the to supervise the temples. It is not to manage the temples.
But
So the claim that the DMK government or DMK has done a lot for temples itself is illegal. So, and he was telling about the violence that has erupted.
Yes.
Can he show me one place or 1 year where RSS route march has created any violence? See, the DMK says that if you go for a route march, there are people there to stone your route march. There are people to attack you. A responsible government should protect the citizens.
No, Mr. Tirupati, the argument from the DMK is also that all these processions are not done as a part of your political expression or your ideology, but they are done with an intent and design to provoke violence. That is what RSS and the right-wing organizations are doing.
Tell me,
that's exactly what DMK is arguing, sir.
You tell me one RSS route march in India that has created violence. That is what even the Honorable High Court also has asked. And that is what we are saying. The government, instead of trying to catch hold of the protesters or the persons whom they think, as per their intelligence inputs, they say that intelligence inputs say that because of the PFI ban, people are agitated and they may attack. See, you have to arrest the people who are getting agitated. As per law, it is banned. And if they are if you know that who are there to attack, instead of catching the thief, you are coming to the citizen and you are disturbing and you are threatening the common man. How is it possible? Tomorrow, if the government says, hello, Mr. Dharnidharan, there is a thief in front of your house, so please don't, you lock it from inside, don't come out. Will you accept?
Mr. Dharnidharan, let me ask this to you straight. Let me ask this to you straight, and you can respond to the points that Mr. Narayan Tirupati also made. Is the DMK scared of the inroads that the BJP and RSS are making in the state of Tamil Nadu?
See, as I said, they're not making any inroads. If you all go by any elections, their vote percentage, even if they contest alone now, is not going to cross more than 1%. It has never crossed 1% standing alone. So we are no way threatened by BJP or RSS because they have no standing in Tamil Nadu. Point is not that. The point is Tamil Nadu is the most harmonious place in whole of India, and we want to maintain that. RSS march, Narayan Tirupati says that violence has not happened. In fact, if you go and look at the report, I have 3-4 reports with me. I'll quote one report, which is by, if I have to read, one of the reports is from the Lawyers Initiative of India, where they have quoted state-wise, West Bengal, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, Gujarat. At least they've quoted 50 incidents of violences in the last 10 years. In fact, during one of the marches in Uttar Pradesh, during RSS march, the RSS, someone there itself had killed a cow and put allegations on
Mr. Dharnidharan, you are absolutely confident that if I dig the history and if I dig out certain media reports, there is never a violence that has happened in the DMK rally, which was carried out in the state? No. Are you saying that all political or quasi-political rallies are completely bereft of violence and there has to be 100% guarantee that nothing of that sort will happen?
Ma'am, you're not letting me complete.
Please finish your point, sir. Please finish your point.
I'm saying as recent as a couple of years back in Uttar Pradesh, during a rally, right, members of the rally itself, or who apparently took part, had killed a cow and put allegations on a Muslim, and then he was killed. And our investigations of the UP police will reveal that people who took part in the rally or who were part of the rally killed a cow. So those kind of incidents have happened. And if you look at any data before
unlike UP, right now the law and order in the state of Tamil Nadu is in your hands. And if there are notorious elements, lock them up and arrest them. You would be able to do your job, isn't it, sir?
It's also the job of the state government to prevent before it happens. It is not just to arrest after the violence.
Then why the Supreme Court or the High Court has not listened to the state government?
Sir, I never interrupted you when you spoke. That's what I'm saying. It is the job of the state government to prevent any violence from happening also. That is why Tamil Nadu is one of the safest states.
Okay, my last question to you, and then I'll go to Narayan Tirupati. Then why didn't the courts agree with you if you have such legible points to make?
See, I think courts had their own reasons, which I do not want to go into, and I also know court verdict. See. But I think, Narayan Tirupati, will you take guarantee if something happens during the march? Will you take responsibility? You can say yes now. If any untoward incident happens, any communal unrest happens, will you say yes?
Well, sir, that's a guarantee that needs to be answered in a court of law. I don't think any individual should be put in that position, including the DMK or the BJP. Yes, Mr. Tirupati, make your point.
The DMK government never, anywhere.
Mr. Tirupati, make your point. Mr. Tirupati.
No,
yes.
let him finish. See, the DMK government has not mentioned anywhere, either in Supreme Court or in the Madras High Court, that there will be problems from the RSS or the RSS people. They have very clearly said that we don't have anything against the RSS, but in this, if this route march takes place, fundamental organizations like PFI, which has been banned, may try to create a law and order problem. And that is the reason they say that they are not permitting the RSS route march. But Dharanidharan says so many things, but their government has not said anything. That is the reason the Honorable Madras High Court had said that it is your responsibility to stop the violence if somebody is trying to do it. So it means that the DMK has got no, they don't have the, heart, or they don't have the power to stop the,
okay. Last 30 seconds to Mr. Dharanidharan to rebut the arguments.
Mr. Dharanidharan,
Mr. Dharanidharan, please go ahead.
See, in that case, Narayan Tirupati can say he will take responsibility if some untoward incidents happen during the march.
You have to take responsibility, sir. The DMK government has to take responsibility.
Sir, let me speak. See, let me complete.
No, you are asking me a question, I am answering it. No, not me. The DMK government has to take responsibility.
No, I never interrupted you.
Mr. Dharanidharan, please. Mr. Dharanidharan, please. Mr. Dharanidharan, yes. Because
we have responsibility, that's why it should be left to the police and the intelligence, which I said there are possibilities for communal violence. And even rally by alliance partner was not given permission. Have also said that research by Christophe Geoffroy, a French political scientist, also said whenever before elections, BJP is always trying to create communal unrest. Higher the communal unrest, higher the vote percentage they get, which clearly proves that BJP wants to create communal
Mr. Dharanidharan, only the public order and law and order concerns are the only legible grounds on which an elected government or the law and order machinery can stop a procession, a political procession or a march. That's the law of the land, irrespective of the DMK or the BJP. And that rule of law has been upheld by the courts in this country. I thank Mr. Salim Dharanidharan and Mr. Narayan Tirupati for joining us on the broadcast. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time and for joining us on the broadcast. The Supreme Court clearly laying down that if there's a law and order concern, the state government must take the right measure. Well, we are slipping into a very short break. News and updates continue.